Before we dive into the specific advantages of working from home, it is important to take a step back and reflect on the broader context in which this transformation is happening. Work has always been more than just a means of earning a living. It shapes our identities, structures our days, influences our relationships, and defines to a large extent how we experience life. For decades, arguably for over a century, the model of work remained relatively unchanged. Fixed schedules, centralized offices, hierarchical management, and clearly defined boundaries between professional and personal life. This model brought stability and growth, but it also came with limitations. It assumed that productivity could only happen in a specific place, under direct supervision, within rigid timeframes. It left little room for individuality, flexibility, or the diverse realities of people's lives. Then change came, not gradually, but all at once. Driven by global circumstances and powered by rapid technological advancement, millions of people across the United States and around the world were suddenly introduced to a different way of working. Dining tables became desks. Living rooms became offices. Video calls replaced conference rooms. And what initially felt like a disruption soon revealed itself as an opportunity. An opportunity to question old assumptions, an opportunity to challenge outdated norms, an opportunity to ask a simple but powerful question: is there a better way to work? What we discovered is that work is not confined to a building. Productivity does not depend on physical presence. And success is not measured by how long we sit at a desk, but by the value we create. This realization has sparked one of the most important conversations of our time, a conversation about flexibility, autonomy, balance, and trust. A conversation about how to build a future of work that is not only efficient, but also humane. Today's discussion on the benefits of working from home is part of that larger conversation. It is not just about convenience or preference. It is about rethinking systems that have been in place for generations and exploring how they can evolve to better serve people, organizations, and society as a whole. As we move forward, I invite you to keep an open mind. Because what we are really exploring today is not just a workplace trend, but a fundamental shift in how we live, how we connect, and how we define success. We live in a time of remarkable transformation, a time when technology has not only reshaped how we communicate, how we shop, and how we learn, but fundamentally how we work. For generations, the concept of going to work meant leaving home, commuting to an office, and spending the majority of our waking hours in a centralized location. That was the norm. That was the expectation. That was the structure around which millions of lives were organized. But today, we stand at a turning point. Working from home, once considered a luxury, a rare perk, or even a questionable practice, has become a defining feature of modern professional life. And while this shift was accelerated by necessity, what we've discovered along the way is something far more profound. Working from home is not just a temporary solution. It is, in many ways, a better way forward. Today, I want to talk to you about the benefits of working from home, not just from a business perspective, but from a human perspective. Because at its core, this conversation is about more than productivity or efficiency. It is about quality of life. It is about freedom. It is about trust. And it is about reimagining what it means to truly thrive in our work and in our lives. One, reclaiming time. The end of the commute. Let's begin with one of the most immediate and tangible benefits: time. For millions of Americans, the daily commute has long been a silent burden. Hours spent in traffic, time lost on crowded trains, stress accumulated before the workday even begins. When we remove the commute, we don't just save time, we give people their lives back. Imagine what an extra 1, 2, or even 3 hours a day can mean. That's time for family breakfasts, time for exercise, time to read, to reflect, to rest. Time that used to be consumed by frustration is now available for fulfillment. And this isn't just about convenience, it's about well-being. Studies consistently show that long commutes are associated with higher stress, lower job satisfaction, and even poorer health outcomes. By eliminating the commute, we remove a daily source of strain and replace it with opportunity. Time is our most valuable resource. Working from home gives it back to us. 2. Increased productivity and focus. There's a common misconception that working from home leads to distractions and decreased productivity. But for many people, the opposite is true. The traditional office environment, while valuable for collaboration, is often filled with interruptions, meetings, noise, casual conversations, and constant activity. At home, employees have the ability to create a workspace that suits their needs. They can control their environment. They can structure their day. They can work during their most productive hours. For some, that means starting early in the morning. For others, it means working later in the evening. The key is flexibility, allowing people to align their work with their natural rhythms. And when people are able to work in a way that suits them, something powerful happens. They produce better results. Productivity is not about being busy. It's about being effective. And working from home enables that effectiveness in ways that the traditional model often cannot. 3. Better work-life balance. Perhaps one of the most profound benefits of working from home is the impact on work-life balance. For too long, many people have felt forced to choose between professional success and personal fulfillment, between being present at work and being present at home. But remote work helps bridge that divide. It allows parents to be more involved in their children's lives. It allows individuals to care for loved ones. It allows people to integrate their work into their lives rather than structuring their lives entirely around their work. This doesn't mean working less. It means working differently. It means having the flexibility to attend a school event in the afternoon and finish tasks in the evening. It means taking a break to recharge without feeling guilty. It means recognizing that employees are not just workers. They are human beings with complex, meaningful lives. And when people feel balanced, they perform better. They are more engaged, more creative, and more committed. 4. Cost savings for employees and employers. Working from home also brings significant financial benefits. For employees, the savings can be substantial. No commuting costs, less spending on meals, gas, parking, and work attire. Over time, these savings add up, sometimes to thousands of dollars per year. For employers, the advantages are equally compelling. Reduced need for office space, lower utility costs, fewer expenses related to maintenance and infrastructure. But beyond the numbers, there's a deeper value: efficiency. Organizations can allocate resources more strategically. They can invest in technology, training, and employee development rather than physical space. They can build leaner, more agile operations. In a competitive global economy, this kind of efficiency is not just beneficial, it's essential. 5. Access to a broader talent pool. One of the most transformative aspects of remote work is its impact on hiring. When location is no longer a barrier, companies are no longer limited to local talent. They can recruit the best people, regardless of where they live. This opens the door to greater diversity, greater inclusion, and greater innovation. It allows individuals in rural areas, small towns, or underserved communities to access opportunities that were once out of reach. It enables people with disabilities or unique circumstances to participate more fully in the workforce. Talent is everywhere. Opportunity should be too. Working from home helps bridge that gap. 6. Environmental benefits. Let's also consider the impact on our planet. Fewer commutes mean fewer cars on the road. Fewer cars mean reduced emissions. Reduced emissions mean cleaner air and a healthier environment. Office buildings consume vast amounts of energy: lighting, heating, cooling, and more. By reducing reliance on centralized workspaces, we can significantly lower our environmental footprint. This is not just a side benefit, it is a critical advantage. As we face global challenges related to climate change, every step towards sustainability matters. Working from home is one of those steps. 7. Empowerment and trust. At its core, remote work is built on trust. It requires organizations to trust their employees, not to monitor every minute, but to focus on outcomes, to evaluate performance based on results rather than presence. And when employees feel trusted, they rise to the occasion. They take ownership of their work. They become more accountable. They develop a stronger sense of responsibility and pride. This shift from control to trust is one of the most important cultural transformations of our time. It empowers individuals. It strengthens teams. It creates healthier, more respectful workplaces. Number 8. Improved mental health and well-being. Mental health has become an increasingly important topic in today's world, and for good reason. Stress, burnout, and anxiety are all too common in traditional work environments. Long hours, rigid schedules, and constant pressure can take a significant toll. Working from home offers a different approach. It allows people to create a comfortable, personalized environment. It gives them the flexibility to take breaks, manage stress, and prioritize self-care. Of course, remote work comes with its own challenges, such as isolation, but with the right strategies and support, these can be addressed. The key point is this: when people have more control over their environment and their time, they are better equipped to take care of themselves. And when people are healthier, mentally and emotionally, they are more capable in every aspect of their lives. 9. Encouraging innovation and adaptability. The shift to remote work has also driven innovation. Organizations have had to rethink how they communicate, collaborate, and operate. They've adopted new tools, new processes, and new ways of thinking. And in doing so, they've become more adaptable. In a rapidly changing world, adaptability is a competitive advantage. Companies that can evolve quickly are better positioned to succeed. Remote work encourages this kind of flexibility. It challenges old assumptions and opens the door to new possibilities. 10. The future of work. So where do we go from here? The future of work is not about choosing between the office and home. It's about creating systems that combine the best of both: hybrid models, flexible schedules, results-driven cultures. The goal is not to replicate the old system in a new environment. The goal is to build something better, something more human, something more sustainable. As we come to the end of this discussion, it is worth pausing to consider not just what we have learned, but what it means for the future. The rise of working from home is not an isolated phenomenon. It is part of a broader transformation, one that touches every aspect of our lives. It reflects changing values, evolving technologies, and a growing recognition that people are at their best when they are trusted, supported, and given the freedom to thrive. But with this transformation comes responsibility. For organizations, the responsibility is to build systems that are fair, inclusive, and sustainable. To ensure that flexibility does not come at the cost of connection. To create cultures where communication remains strong, collaboration remains meaningful, and every employee feels seen and valued, no matter where they are. For leaders, the responsibility is to lead with intention, to shift from managing presence to inspiring performance, to focus not on control, but on clarity, that purpose, and trust. And for individuals, the responsibility is to adapt thoughtfully, to set boundaries, maintain discipline, and cultivate habits that support both productivity and well-being. Working from home offers freedom, but with freedom comes the need for balance and self-awareness. The truth is, there is no one-size-fits-all solution. The future of work will likely be diverse, flexible, and continuously evolving. Some will work fully remotely, others will embrace hybrid models, and some roles will always require a physical presence. What matters is not choosing one model over another, but choosing what works best for people while still achieving meaningful outcomes. Because at the end of the day, work is not just about output. It is about impact. It is about creating environments where people can do their best work without sacrificing their health, their relationships, or their sense of purpose. It is about recognizing that behind every task, every project, every goal, there is a human being. And perhaps that is the greatest lesson of all. Working from home has shown us that when we trust people, when we give them flexibility, and when we respect their time and their lives outside of work, they don't just meet expectations, they exceed them. They become more engaged, more creative, more fulfilled, and ultimately more human. As we look ahead, we are not just shaping the future of work, we are shaping the future of life itself. Let us choose to make it better. Thank you.